Good morning, everybody. Well, I should say hello because it's morning where I am, but it may not be morning when you are watching this. So, welcome back. It is week 2. Hopefully, you remember. My name is Jackie Pearson. I am your instructor for English 107. And we are going to take a look at Unit 2, the work that needs to be done, all that good stuff, um, as we will every beginning of every week. I like to call it my weekly walkthrough because it literally is going to walk you through what you need to be working on during this week. So let's take a look at course. We're also going to be looking at our first official Word document this week because you have a formal writing assignment, but we'll take a look at that a little bit down the road. So all I have done is clicked on the Unit 2 link over here on the left-hand side, and you will see the overview as always. So the way that the Blackboard is set up is in order of the things that you should be doing. And of course, every week starts with this overview. You've got objectives, you've got the activities that you're going to be doing. So you always want to read through there. They're very short, very sweet, and to the point. And then you want to launch into the readings and resources. Now, if you were in a quote unquote traditional classroom and you had a textbook, that's essentially what the readings and resources is. This is where you do the learning. Okay. So you watch videos, you read the assignment, the linked assignments, all that stuff. You don't have to do it in a real book anymore. You can do it directly online, but it's the same kind of principle. You want to make sure that you go through all of the readings and resources before trying to tackle the graded assignments for the week because you need to learn. I like to put it, you need to learn before you earn. So learn the material before you earn the points. Each one of these is set up similarly as well. You've got a takeaway at the beginning. You've got readings first. Typically, there's always going to be some readings, and then there will always be some videos. So this week, we're going to be looking at academic writing, the textbook, which is fully online for you. And then the chapters that you're going to look at are about paragraphs. First and last paragraphs are intro and conclusion paragraphs, and how paragraphs are kind of the essential building block for all writing that we do in school. Articles, there's another article here on plagiarism. And of course, we all know plagiarism is bad, but we also sometimes don't fully understand what plagiarism is. And so there's some really good videos here from Scribber, which is become one of my favorite websites in recent memory, that talk about what is plagiarism, how to not accidentally plagiarize, because a lot of people don't plagiarize on purpose. It's an accident. So these will be helpful to you. There's also videos on quoting directly from sources and paraphrasing from sources, which are two key essential skills that we're going to use and learn here in English 107. So once you have looked through and read and watched the readings and resources, you have 2 interactive exercises. Several people get confused about these because they think they have to send me something. You don't have to send me anything related to the unit exercises, these interactive exercises. You just do them and learn from them. So one is about how to submit an assignment in Blackboard, which I'm also going to go over with you. And the other is about different scenarios surrounding plagiarism. So those will be helpful to you as you do the assignments as well. Up next is a discussion board. There's almost always a discussion board each week. Review the paragraph below that was submitted by a student as the answer to a discussion board prompt. Given what you have learned this week, address the following. So you have the quoted paragraph below, and these are the questions that you're going to answer about it. What do you consider some of the things the author did well? What are some areas that need improvement? And if you had to write a paragraph on the same topic, a goal that you want to achieve, would you submit this sample paragraph or something similar to your instructor? Why or why not? And of course, you can read the paragraph and talk about it in your post. Remember that you are going to not only post your own response to those questions, you're also going to be responding to at least 2 of your classmates. And in responding to your peers, a little kind of helpful hint would be to answer this question. Did the author of the paragraph do a good job using the correct tone and thinking about their purpose and audience? So you read their paragraph that they wrote and you comment on that. I always encourage you to aim for a really fully developed paragraph, at least one paragraph in your own response. So say 6 to 9 sentences, something along those lines. And then when you're responding to others, you don't have to write as much, but you do want to have some good level of detail. So I always encourage you to aim for 3 to 5 sentences in those and try asking a question, something to kind of get the discussion going. Also, remember, if anybody poses a question to you when they respond to you, make sure that you answer those as well. The more active you are on the discussion boards, the better. And the earlier you get started in the week, the better, because all of it, of course, is due by next Sunday night. There you go. So next is our first formal writing assignment. Throughout this class, you will be examining different types of sources on a variety of subjects. Some of those sources will be from post-university library. Other sources will be from the internet. In this assignment, you're going to find a source. So you can use a magazine article, a video, or a website about using AI-generated content, such as ChatGPT. There are others, but that's probably the best known. And you're going to evaluate that article. So we will take a look at the assignment sheet first. And most of that we just went over, but notice under the instructions, there are some very specific questions. So you're going to find an article, a video, or a website talking about using AI generated content. And you're going to answer these questions using what you have learned about research. Okay, that's the first one. Write a paragraph of at least 6 sentences about the source. And in your paragraph, you want to specifically answer these questions. Why did you pick this source? What is the source about? So give a summary of the information in the source in your own words. You can include some quotations if you want to, but basically you're summarizing it in your own words. And then finally, what makes this a good source to share in the classroom? And you need to include a link to your source. Now, eventually we're going to be doing formal APA citations, but for now, the only real requirement here is that you do want to set up your document in what's called APA format, and I'm going to show you that. The document should be double spaced, have 1-inch margins, use an APA recommended font. And of course, then again, the paragraph should be at least 6 sentences. The paragraph itself will be double spaced. All information in an APA paper is double spaced. And then, like it says, you need to at least include a link to the source. You can include a formal APA citation instead if you would like, and I'll show you kind of how to manage that. So the first thing that you're going to need to do in doing this assignment is to find a source. Hold on a second. Hi, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulty. I am at my quote unquote day job. And so people keep coming in and interrupting me, but we will make it happen. All right. So at any rate, we were talking about the assignment sheet, and every time we have a formal writing assignment, you definitely want to pay attention to the criteria here because it's always going to spell out what you need to do. So for example, if you don't find an article about AI generated content, you're not doing the assignment. If you don't have at least 6 sentences, you haven't done the assignment. So you really want to use this to hone in on what you're doing. And every time you have one of these, you'll also have a rubric at the end. We're going to dig more into rubrics in one of the assignments, but essentially you can then see, okay, if I don't have a source, I get 0 points. If I do have a source and I discuss it within the activity, I can get all directions followed. So essentially you want to use the rubric as you're writing it and also before you turn it in. All right. So I mentioned that there are a couple of ways for you to find an article that you want to use for this assignment. And one of them, of course, is to use the post-university library. In order to access the library, all you have to do, you'll be in our class, and you can click on the link that says library. You'll find that it'll take you to the library page, and much like Google, there's a nice little search box that you can put something in. When you click on that, it is going to make you sign in. So you may have to take another step. once you've signed in, it usually stays for a while, but occasionally you have to put in something new. And then we can put in our search terms. So I'm going to put in AI generated content, and it's one of the preset. It will even give you some things to look at. All right. And as you can see, there are 794,510 articles. So every time somebody tells me they couldn't find a source in the library, I'm like, untrue. Uh, it's just not true. Now, you may want to make sure that you're only seeing things that are from full text, and that's an automatically checked box. You may also want to say, I only want to see things from the last, say, let's say 5 years, because of course AI is fairly new. So we can change this. Let's do 2020. That'll take it down some, but we still have 400, over 400,000. I'm going to put in just to see if I can narrow it down a little more. Since this week we're studying plagiarism, I'm going to put in the words and plagiarism and research. And now I'm down to 4,000. Okay. So this is really, you can fine tune your resources. You can also look for specific types of sources. So for example, if I wanted to make sure I'm getting an article out of a magazine, the main big difference is in an academic journal, it's going to be very high level writing, as opposed to a magazine, which is going to be more for a popular audience. It doesn't matter. You can look at anything you want, but you can also kind of narrow those down. I'm going to do magazines just because I want to narrow it for you. And that, of course, brought us down to 463. Now we have a bunch of choices still. To catch a plagiarist sounds fun. Generative AI. I am not a robot. I like the title of that one. And that's a pretty big article. It's a 4-page article. So this is kind of interesting to me. I'm going to choose, I'm not a robot. Why not? So I'm going to click on this link, and it's going to give me options on the left to look at the full text. This is where you will read the article and then write your summary, et cetera, et cetera. Now, you need to give us a link to it and or an official APA citation. So let me show you where you find those in the library materials. See this link that says permalink? That's the one that you would want to share if you just want to share the link. But you also have the ability to use a real APA citation. And we are going to be using those for most of our assignments. So it's a good time to start. So let's take a look there. We would then need to scroll down to find the one that says APA. There we go. And we would just copy this and paste it into our Word document. That's all you got to do, right? Now, let me show you what that APA document is going to look like. Okay, so now I'm sharing a Word document with you, and I'm going to give you this Word document in the materials in this announcement with this video. You will notice that it has a cover page. It's the Unit 2 writing assignment. You would put your name where Nancy Smith's name is. Everything else is the same, except of course, this date's going to change. Let's put today, or let's put this week's date. November. Oh my gosh, Sunday's already going to be November. And it is the 3rd or the 2nd? 3rd. 3rd. Okay. So the due date for this assignment is November 3rd. So let's change that. And you're ready to go. Then you have your paragraph. And this paragraph answers, all of the questions that were asked in the assignment. And then it has a link. Okay, so I did not do a big formal citation for this one. This was something that I did find on the internet, and so I just used the link. But let me show you something else that's kind of fun. So this is the link to this article, and I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go to that website that you're going to be looking at some of their videos of. So we're going to go to Scribr, SCRIBBR.com, and you can tell I use it a lot because it's towards the top. And I'm going to show you that you can use their citation generator to create a full APA citation of a website. So I'm going to paste that URL. And here is my citation. So I can copy this to the clipboard, and I'm going to put an actual reference page. So I'm going to insert a page break, and I'm going to center the term references. And I'm going to create what's called a hanging indent by moving the bottom arrow over, and I'm going to paste, and I'm going to match formatting. So what it does then, why you want it to match formatting, is that it will save those italics, basically. And if you forget to do that, you can go back in and add the italics. It's not a big deal. But that is what your actual APA reference would look like. So I'm going to save this as a new, updated document, and I will include this in your course materials, in your announcements. So let's go back to the course and show you how you then turn this in. You definitely need to create a document in Microsoft Word, and you have free access to Word as a post-university student. So there's no reason not to do that. You want to save it somewhere on your computer, and then when you're ready to submit it, you click on this link, and you're going to click on upload files. I wish create submission was not there, but it is. Just ignore it. Go to upload files, browse your local files, and then you will submit the one that you just did. And you need to click on the I agree button and click on submit. Once that happens, you will see kind of a preview of it. Sometimes this preview window makes it look weird, but don't worry about how it looks. This one looks good, but sometimes it'll do weird things to it, but you'll be able to see that you have turned it in. Okay. So that is how you submit your formal writing assignments, and we will be doing quite a few of those. So this is just number one, but I will give you help on them each time we have one. So try not to worry about it. If you have questions about it, you can feel free to reach out. I will also remind you that tomorrow evening, Tuesday, the 29th, we will be having the first of 6 workshops, and you can get into those workshops through the link in the class. I am the host of those workshops, so we will go over this assignment as well as other stuff. So if you do have questions and you want to ask them live, not in person, but still live, come to the workshop tomorrow night, and I will see you there, hopefully. All right, everybody, take care. Happy week 2. And if I don't see you tomorrow night, I will see you next week for another walkthrough video.